A very good morning to my dear students, and I am happy to welcome you all to today's zoology class. What are we going to learn today? Today's topic is classification of neurons. So what is today's topic? Classification of neurons. In our past few classes, we had been studying about the nervous system, right? So you know the basic properties of the nervous system, and you know that neurons are nerve cells. The nervous system is made up of many cells, and those cells are called as neurons. So neurons are the cells of your nervous system. This you have studied in your previous class also. You have studied about the structure of a neuron, what all a neuron will have. Do you remember? So we have studied about the structure. In today's class we are going to learn about the classification of neurons. That is, what are the types of neurons. There are many types of neurons in your body, and you are going to learn what are those types in this class. So let's get started. So in the classification of neurons, it is based on the function. See, when you classify something, say for example, when you classify living organisms, you classify based on their structure all, no? So if it has stem, roots and leaves, you put it under the group called plant kingdom. If it has eyes, nose and everything, you put it under the kingdom human beings, right? So depending upon the physical structure, we used to classify things. Similarly, based on the functions also in biology, you classify things. Say for example, in the case of neurons, based on their functions. Why I specify this word function is because all the types of neurons appear similar in structure. I mean, all of them have same type of structure, but again it is classified only because they differ in their functions. Do you understand? I repeat, they all have the same structure, but they vary in their functions. So let's see what are the three types of neurons. The three types of neurons include sensory neurons, motor neurons and interneurons. So what are the three types of neurons? Sensory neurons, motor neurons and interneurons. As I told you, all these three will have the same structure. What did you study about the structure of neurons in your previous class? Every neuron will have a cell body, a central nucleus, cytoplasm, axons, myelin sheath, bundle sheath, everything you have studied in your previous class, right? So all of them have all those structures, but the only difference is their functions are going to be different. About this only you are going to learn in today's class. So first we learn about the sensory neurons. So here in this picture I have showed you all the three types of neurons. Clear? This pink color structure, can you see? This pink neuron is the sensory neurons. See, before specifying the functions of sensory neurons, you know what is the basic function of all the neurons? Neurons are those which will carry signals or messages from where to where. I gave you an example in the previous class, right? All the electrical devices at your home will have wire. Through the wire, what will happen? Whenever you switch on the switch, current will flow through the electric wire and the device will work. Say for example, a refrigerator or an iron box or whatever it is, only when you switch on, the current will pass through the wire and only then the device will work, right? Similarly, your body also has many wire-like structure that is called as neurons or the nerve cells that can carry messages, or it is also called as electrical impulses. The technical term is actually electrical impulses. This also you have learnt in your previous class, right? So electrical impulses carry messages. What messages? It is not an email or it is not a letter, right? How it will carry messages? In the form of electrical impulses. From where to where? From your brain to all your parts of your body. Only when your brain says walk, you will start walking. When your brain says sit for some time, you will sit, right? So that messages is carried by the neurons or the nerve cells of your body. Clear? So here generally all the three types of neurons, that is the sensory neurons or motor neurons or the interneurons, all of them carry messages, but the place from where to where they carry is going to be different. Say for example, the sensory neurons will transmit messages. They receive the message from sense organs. You have 5 sense organs, no? So from any of those 5 sense organs, they carry the receptors. You have already studied that your eyes can see because the eyes have photo cells or photoreceptors. Do you remember? So your eyes has photoreceptors. Similarly, your skin has receptors which can sense the differences in the environment. Say for example, if you touch a hot pan, then your skin can sense, that is the receptors in your skin can sense that it is hot. So immediately the sensory neurons will pass message. See, this is the structure of skin given. Can you see a box like structure? This is the section of skin. I will draw a bigger for you. Section of skin means a portion of the skin is shown here. Okay. So in skin you have different layers all, and along with that you have receptors, certain bundle like structures you have in your skin, and to this receptors only I told you the pink color structure is the sensory neuron. This pink color structure is the sensory neuron, and when you have studied about the structure of a neuron, do you remember you have axon and you have myelin sheath covering the axon, and the axon ends in bundle like structures, bulb like structures. Do you remember? So these bulb like structures only you can see here. Can you see here? So this is the point where it is connected with the receptors of your skin. Your skin have receptors, and this synaptic bulb like structure is connected to the receptor to sense the changes that is happening in your skin. Suppose if the temperature outside is very cold, your skin can sense that it is cold because of the presence of these receptors. So these bundle like structures are connected to the receptors. So it is like a wire. I told you it is connected from the receptors to the central nervous system. What is central nervous system? Central nervous system includes two parts of your body. One is called the brain and the second one is called the spinal cord. So what did I tell you? The sensory neurons connect the receptors of your skin either to the brain or to the spinal cord. See here, can you see a structure like this? What is this? This is actually the spinal cord shown here. So you may wonder, because you know spinal cord is a rod like structure, right? It is a rod like structure. Why it is shown like this? Because when you cut this rod, suppose if you cut this rod like structure, the cross section of the cylindrical structure, suppose if this is the spinal cord, if I cut this way, if I am going to cut this way and show you like this, it appears like a circle, right? So that is what is shown here. It's in this shape. It is not exactly a circle, but it appears like this, somewhat like a butterfly shape, right? So this is the spinal cord. So the functions of sensory neurons are to receive the signals from the skin or any other sense organ to the central nervous system. What is central nervous system? Central nervous system includes either brain or either spinal cord. So sensory neurons receives the signals from your sense organs and gives it and transmits the messages either to the brain or to the spinal cord. In this picture, it is transmitted to the spinal cord. See, from the skin, it carries the messages till the spinal cord. So this is the function of sensory neurons. So, to the brain and the spinal cord the messages are transmitted. So, what have we studied about sensory neurons? Among the three types of neurons, sensory neurons carry messages from any sense organs, let it be your skin or nose or muscles, wherever it is, from any sense organs to the brain or the spinal cord in the form of electrical impulses or messages. The information is passed. So, what information? Say for example, the information that the temperature is hot, the information that something is so sharp, the knife is sharp. So, all those information is carried by the neurons from the place where the signal is received, either in your skin or in your head or in your foot, wherever it is received, to the place where it is transferred to the spinal cord or to the brain. So, this is all about sensory neurons. Next we learn about motor neurons. See here the motor neurons are shown in blue color. Can you see the motor neurons? It is in blue color, right? So, here from there again I told you any neuron will carry, the function of neuron itself is to carry the signals or the messages from one part of your body to another part, right? So, sensory neurons you have studied that it carries signals from sense organs to the brain or the spinal cord. What about motor neurons? Where does it start? Can you see here? It starts from the spinal cord, and where does it end? Can you see a red color structure? What is this? This is the structure of muscles, the structure of muscles. So, the function of motor neurons is to transmit the messages from the brain or the spinal cord to the muscles or the glands. Why to the muscles? Say for example, you touch a hot object. So, when you touch a hot object, the sensory neurons of your body, when you touch a hot object, the sensory neurons of your body will tell the brain that the object is hot. Clear? So, when you touch a hot object, the sensory neurons will carry message to the brain that something is hot. So, what the brain instructs you? The brain instructs you to take away your hand. The brain tells you take away your hand. So, you take away the hand because the subject or the object is hot or cold. Okay. So, how does this carry message from the brain to the muscles? Why muscles? Muscles are throughout your body, and when your hand needs to move, the muscles of your body has to move. Only when your muscles move, you can move the parts of your body. No, you have muscles throughout your body, and only when you move, the part of your body can be moved. That's why the instruction is from the brain to the muscles. So, here what is happening? The messages are transmitted from the brain to the spinal, from the brain or the spinal cord to the muscles or the glands. What is a gland? You have many glands in your body like sweat glands, or in your mouth you have salivary glands, in your eyes you have tear glands all. So, whenever, say for example, whenever your mom cooks a good food, your salivary glands will start secreting more saliva, right? So, here also your brain tells the gland to secrete more saliva, that's why your mouth is watering, right? So, similarly when you are emotional, your brain tells your tear gland to secrete tears, that's why tears flow out. So, again whenever the temperature outside is hot, your brain tells your sweat gland to produce more sweat so that you keep sweating. Clear? So, whatever happens in your body is because of the signals received from the brain to the muscles or glands of your body. So, what we have studied about motor neurons? Motor neurons transmit the messages. Transmit means just it transfers the messages from where to where? From the spinal cord or the brain to the muscles of your body, or sometimes to the glands of your body. Do you understand? This is about motor neurons. So, what else we have to study? We have one more neuron called as interneurons. Now, that we will be studying in the next slide. So, the third type of neuron is interneuron. It is a connective neuron which connects sensory neurons and the, can you see a green structure here? So this green structure is the interneurons. So the pink one is the sensory neuron, the blue one is the motor neuron, and this green neuron, a small neuron you can see inside the spinal cord, no? So this green structure is the interneuron. The function of interneuron is to act as a connecting agent between the sensory neuron and the motor neuron. It connects the sensory and motor neurons. That is the function of the interneurons. As usual, as like any other neuron, it conducts the electrical impulses. Why electrical impulses? Because messages inside your body is sent in the form of electrical impulses. Clear? So, example for interneurons is brain and spinal cord. So, either the brain or the spinal cord will hold the interneurons. Clear? So, what have we studied about interneurons? It has not much of functions like the sensory and motor neurons, but just it is a connecting agent between the sensory and motor neurons. Where can you find interneurons? You can find them in the brain and in the spinal cord, and their function is just like the other neurons. They also conduct impulses or electrical messages. So, this is about interneurons. So, in the final part of the class today, you are going to learn about structure of a nerve. So, this word nerve you must have heard right from your childhood, right? You have many nerves in your body that you know. What a nerve contains, you know the structure of a neuron, but what a nerve contains, a nerve is this structure. Can you see a structure here? This is the structure of a nerve. So, what does it contain? It is a complicated structure where it is made up of many axons. Have you heard this word axons? Where have you heard? In your last class when you studied about the structure of a neuron, you have studied that a neuron has an axon, a long tail like structure is the axon, right? So, what have you studied in the structure of a neuron? You have a long rod like structure which is a axon. So, this axon is this yellow color region. Can you see rod like structures? This yellow color region is the axon what you have studied. What the axon is covered of? Axon is covered of a sheath called as myelin sheath. No? Where is this sheath here? This green color structure, can you see? This is the myelin sheath. So, yellow color axon covered by green color myelin sheath. Clear? So, if you see the structure of this nerve, there are many axons and myelin sheath, but only 2 of them are shown projected out just for your clear view. Clear? But see, you have many green circles now. All the green circles are all myelin sheaths. Inside that what you have, all these yellow dots are axons. So, single nerve has many axons covered by their myelin sheaths. So, one single nerve has many axons. Clear? So, this is a 3D structure just for your clear view. Only 2 axons along with their myelin sheath are shown projected out. The remaining ones are shown embedded inside. Okay. So, as I told you, one nerve is made up of several axons, and axons are enclosed in a tubular sheath. What is the name of the tubular sheath? It is the myelin sheath, and generally a nerve itself is white in color and fibrous in nature. So, how can you describe the structure of a nerve? A nerve, when you see with your eyes, it is a white structure and it is fibrous, like a fiber it appears. Clear? And it is a pathway for electrical impulses. Just like any other neuron, what is the function of the nerves? It is a pathway. It is a way through which the electrical impulses are transmitted, either from your body to the brain or from the brain to your muscles or glands. So, from where to where? from the CNS, that is from the central nervous system, either from your brain or spinal cord, to all the parts of the body. The nerves are distributed. Why it is distributed? Just to carry the electrical impulses or messages from the brain. Clear? So what have we studied about the structure of a nerve? A nerve is made up of several axons. It is made up of several axons covered by a green sheath like structure. In the picture it is green, actually everything is colorless in real, okay. Just for your clear view, it is all shown in colored parts. Actually what we have studied, it is nerve is just a white fiber. So either axon, myelin sheath or whatever parts of the nerve is going to be only colorless or white in color. Clear? Only for your easy understanding they have given in colors. And the function of nerve is to carry the electrical impulses from where to where? From the central nervous system, that is the brain or the spinal cord, to all the parts of your body. Clear? So this is about the nerves. Then there are two types of nerves. Already I have told you there are three types of neurons called sensory neurons, motor neurons and interneurons, right? Again, there are two types of nerves based from where they arise. That was based on their function, no? Just that's why I gave below the classification chart. It is based on their function. Here it is based on the location, where it is located. Based on that it is classified into two. The first one is called cranial nerves and the second one is called spinal nerves. So what are the two types of nerves? Cranial nerves and spinal nerves are based on from where they originate or from where they arise. From where they arise, if it arises from the brain, the nerves which starts from the brain are called as cranial nerves, and the nerves which starts from the spinal cord, all those nerves which starts from the spinal cord are called as spinal nerves. So what did I tell you? There are two types of nerves based on from where they arise or originate. If they start from the brain, then they are called cranial nerves, and if they start from the spinal cord, then they are called as spinal nerves. You have 12 pairs of cranial pairs, means one pair is 2, right? So like that you have 24 cranial nerves in your body and 62 spinal nerves in your body. So there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves and 12 pairs of cranial nerves in your body. This is about the types of nerves. So what have we studied? There are two types of nerves based on from where they originate. If they originate from the brain, it is called cranial nerves. If they originate from the spinal cord, it is called the spinal nerves. You have 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves in your body. So this is about the types of nerves. Okay, for your homework, you are going to read page number 99. Read carefully so that it is easy for you during your exams. Clear? That is all for today's class, and until I meet you in one more class, you all take care and bye bye.